Yes, people, what's happening? Nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. Our next guest tonight, the runner of one of the most popular hair bale shows in the UK, been around for a long time, had some great fighters fighting on the shows, still smashing the shows out. None other than Christian Roberts. What's happening, brother? You good?
How we doing, bro?
I'm all good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, getting there. Just still coming down from last week's show.
I can imagine, mate. I've seen some videos on it. It looked like it was a good one, pal.
Yeah, it was a cracker, mate. Some good fights.
I was wondering if we could start, mate, just for the people who don't know. Where did Spartan originate from? Where did it all begin?
Just seen some knife crime on the news one day and decided to start a fight club for people who wanted to settle beef and stuff. But it kind of just grew from there, really. Started getting popular. People liked the arena and the setup and that and just wanted to jump on without beef.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. And obviously, you've had some big names fighting on the show over the years, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I've had some good lads on the show over the years, yeah, for sure. Aaron Lambourne, Michael Marshall, loads of lads who've gone on and fought in other companies, on TV and stuff like that. But there's only one arena to be in.
And how long's it been going for now, the Spartan, the hair bales?
This is our 6th year now.
6, yeah.
Yeah, 6 now we're on.
So I remember
it's not been easy, man.
Oh, I can imagine, mate. Especially what was COVID like for you?
Yeah, it was really bad. It stopped us for 2 years. We had to start going and watch another company called Pandemic Promotions.
Pandemic Promotions says it all. But you're getting a few lads now who were crossing over as well, aren't you? I've seen a couple of the lads from Spartan crossing over and doing a bit of the ring work.
Yeah, man, we're not adverse to working with anybody. Obviously not all our fighters are ring fighters, but the ones who can do. So yeah, we've been helping Bad to the Bone out recently. I've got lads wanting to get on BKFC. I spoke to Andrew Bakewell not long ago. Unfortunately, the one he wanted was busy fighting for us. But we're not adverse to working with anyone, man. We never stop anyone getting in the way of the dreams and stuff,
Yeah, and what's the rule set in Spartan? Like how many rounds and clinching and stuff like that? What's the actual rule set?
Yeah, it's normality. It's 3 2-minute rounds for a normal. It's 5 2-minute rounds for a title fight. The clinching, as long as one of you is punching, we're not going to stop it. If you're both hugging it out, then no one wants to see that. So we've got good referees in Dan Hunter, Dean Lister, Liam Duffy, to name a few. We've got some good referees there. Lads respect them. Rules are normally obeyed pretty good. So, yeah, man, it's all right. It's good.
And tell us about this event that you just had the other day. That's just went.
Yeah, man, I called it 18 fights. I said there'd be 18 knockouts or stoppages, and there was. The arena's set up for that. In my opinion, if you're going to go and watch a bare knuckle, especially in that type of, arena, you don't want any points or draws or, just straight KOs and beheadings. That's what we're about.
Beheadings.
Live decapitations. So, yeah, man, it was a brilliant event. Like I say, 18 fights. World heavyweight title changed. Well, it was vacant, really, but it went to Lee Murray of Bradford. There's no love lost between him and Andrew Anthony. So,
was that the first time Andrew Anthony's lost?
It is the first time he's lost.
Yeah,
quite well, to be fair.
The what? Sorry,
he took it quite well, to be fair.
I'm presuming them we're going to get a rematch on.
We've got the rematch on for June. That'll be a barn burner while it lasts again. Yeah, there's some good fights on the one in June, but the one we had last week, exceptionally happy with that. It was our first pay-per-view, which went quite well. The fights were brilliant. The fans, again, were exceptional. We've never had a fight at one of our events. No trouble at all. That's due to the fact
I've seen a video actually on Ben Alcott went live, and everyone just seems to be loving it, mate, dancing about and enjoying it.
Well, if you're going to have a fight in the crowd, we've gained an extra fight. You're going right in that pit with whoever you're fighting with, and we're all going to watch.
I know, that's what I always think when people kick off at the shows. And now, if you want to do it, get in the fucking ring, innit?
Sign up, yeah.
So what's the plans for the future with Spartan? I know you've got some big shows lined up for in the pipeline.
Yeah, but we're teetering along now. We're starting to gather a bit of pace. We've got a massive following now. The shows are selling out every show now, so we're starting to get to where we need to be, really. What's on the horizon? I mean, I can't say too much at the minute because I'm in talks at the moment with a company that are on about putting us on Netflix or Amazon Prime.
Nice.
And we had a message today to say Channel 4 have also entered the running as well. So, there's exciting things for the lads in the future there. Listen, these boys deserve every bit of recognition they get, mate. I'm telling you now, that's no place for fools, that pit, mate.
Yeah, mate, I know. I can tell, mate, by watching the fights. You've got nowhere to fucking run, have you? You're there, and you're fucking staying there until the end.
Like you say, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah, someone said in the comments, "Oh, it's Cooper." James Cooper. He's put, "What was the weight difference in the Andrew Anthony fight?"
Yeah, Andrew coming at 16 stone, and the other kid was just over 20 stone. Both heavyweights. I've spoke to Andrew again since, and I know he's going to be coming in a lot heavier for this next one. So, all eyes on that, really. But yeah, there was about 4 stone, I think, just over.
Fucking hell, it's a massive weight difference, like, isn't it? Because that's the thing with heavyweight, isn't it? You can't have heavyweight, super heavyweight, super heavyweight. There has to be like a limit, doesn't it? Where, what is it, like 14 and a half, 15 stone and over is heavyweight?
Well, ours is 16 and above.
16 and above.
Yeah, our weight differences are a little bit different to everyone else's, but like you say, you touched on, it's a lot of weight to give away. It certainly is when you're in an 8-foot square with a referee as well. You go dancing in the rain, you're going to get wet, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Ben Hatchett, was it his debut for Spartan that he had the other day?
Yeah, he come in and had a go. I spoke to him since as well. He wants to have another go. But yeah, man, he come and give a good account of himself, to be fair, against the seasoned Pelly, who can really fight like the British champ. Yeah, he done all right, man. But Pelly's tough to beat. Pelly's a tough ask.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough lads in them air bales, like, mate. They're fucking very, very tough men, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, even with the lightweights, the featherweights, the strawweights, it's very rare you see a bad fight on the show. There's not many fights that you'd say, oh, that wasn't very good. They all end with maximum drama and as bad as you want them to, So, and that's credit to the medics that we've never had any big injuries, and they're all over it. They're really good with the safety. Safety of the fighters is paramount to us. So, we've got a good medical team, and it also helps as well that all the lads are like family. There's no closer fight club in the world, I don't believe, than Spartan right now. All these lads are there for each other,
Yeah, 100%. I can see that as well, mate. In the comments here, man, you're getting bare love. Big up Spartan. Yes, boss, hardest working BKB promoter. Respect the boss, top man. Big respect to the boss man and Spartan. You're just getting bare love, mate. Smith Brothers Combat Sports and Gym. There's the bare knuckle hair bale boss. How you doing, Christian?
Mr. Smith, all doing well. Hopefully we'll be putting some killers on that BKFC America soon.
Yeah, mate, it's exciting times now, isn't it, for the bare knuckle?
It's growing fast, man. I mean, someone said to me on another interview not long ago, you don't like ring BKB, do you? I do like it. It's just a completely different sport.
Yeah.
You think they're getting in the ring, you like to your Danny Christie's and then them over in the UK. Now, they're all skilled fighters, man. They're all heavily skilled fighters. You get in that pit, you just got to have a good chin, a real good chin. And you got to have some power as well, because if you can't put the man away, you're going to take some stick. But if you can't take it, you're not going to get to give the stick. So they're your biggest attributes, really. And, they always say what makes a good pit fighter. Well, someone who can think really clear while being smashed in the face every 5 seconds.
That's the thing, though. Like, you can be a min fighter, unbelievable footwork, technique and that. But when you're in a room where you've got nowhere to use your footwork and technique, it all goes out the window, doesn't it?
I think the biggest mistake some of the ones who boxed before do is they come and try and use a jab. Well, that's not really going to work out for you because you're only going to throw one and then they're going to be sitting on your chest, smashing your kidneys and your ribs and stuff.
Yeah, like people, like, it looks like they're just windmilling, but you've got no choice but to just fucking go mad, haven't you?
It's just, like I say, you can have 2 guys getting in that pit and the skill set could be a million miles apart. It doesn't matter, man. Every single fight in that pit is 50-50. Whoever lands clean and first has got a real good chance of winning.
Definitely. I've got a couple of questions for you in the comments. What's Christian's opinion on the perfect size for the bales?
As in space, as in the size of the
What
pit.
do you mean by that, Cooper? Do you mean size of the fighters or size? What do you mean by it? He's also said, who's Christian's top 3 Spartans to watch, old or new?
All of them. I love them all. They're all my lads, aren't they? But we've got some good fighters coming through now. If you follow Spartan now, you can see we've got some really tough kids coming through, and I don't care who you are in the game and what you've done in the game. You get in there, they've got zero respect, man, till after that bell. So, you could have had 20 fights, you're getting in with someone who's going to take your whole head right off there for you. Then they'll buy you the pint. But, and then you can often see them at the bar laughing and joking. You think, what's to laugh about? He's just tuned you in. But listen, that's the camaraderie they've got and the brotherhood they've got in this company, and out of everything that we've done over the years, that's what makes me the proudest.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. And did Cooper meant the space inside the bales? Like, what's the perfect?
Well, for me personally, we put on more fights per show than anybody else, really, and that's due to the fact that they're over quicker. So,
yeah,
we like to give them more value for money, so we normally do about 20 fights. But when we had Fight Fest 3, I extended the pit without telling anybody to nearly 10 foot by 10 foot. And what we found was there was a good few fights on the day. I think 3 or 4 went the distance. And all the fights were going into round 2 and round 3. So we were there when it was going dark. So I won't make that mistake again. I feel that 8v8, maybe 9v9 would be the maximum I'd ever have it again.
Yeah, and fucking hell, mate, that's some sort of out there, that's some work behind that, getting 40 fighters together for one show.
Yeah, man, there's no messing about with these boys either. It's hard to do, man, but it's rewarding because, like I say, we're a little bit different to the other companies where you don't have to have been an ex-UFC fighter and you don't have to have been, a pro boxer or anything else. We're helping real people on the street, man. These people are coming. Listen, everybody who climbs over the Maybales is fighting a fucking demon, because if you think they just want to do that for shits and giggles, and then you've really got problems if you're doing it for shits and giggles, But most of these people are fighting demons, as are everyone else, and we're helping people now on a daily basis with depression, addiction, going to jail, doing it. We're giving them a sense of well-being. We're giving them a platform to get in. They have a fight, and then when they feel the respect they're getting from the fans and the other fighters, it gives them a sense of being part of something, and they're really turning their lives around, these lads, and like I say, that to us makes us more proud than anything else.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to be like I don't know how to put it, like the bare knuckle world. Every fighter seems to have their own struggle, and no matter what, if it's on the top of the BKFC or if it's on a small show, do you know what I mean? Every single fighter seems to have their own problems and troubles and that, and they deal with it when they're going inside that hay bale or the circle, the ring, whatever you want to call it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, respect to anybody in any arena, in any discipline that gets in. Listen, anyone can walk up on the street and crack you. Anyone can be in a nightclub and sideswipe you. But to train for 10 weeks, turn up and have a fight knowing the other guy's done the same as you, takes balls, man.
Yeah, and how does it feel now to build this over 6 years, mate, and have the family behind you that you've got and the respect of all the lads?
Yeah, it's Sam, man. I mean, I always struggle to take the praise, because, if you look down my wall virtually every other day, someone will tag me a post and say, you've saved my life, and that's not really true. We provided a platform that we open the door, but you can't make them walk through it. They've got to turn their lives around. They've got to be disciplined. They've got to embrace the routine. They've got to change the ways, and they've got to perform. So, although we are doing good things for people in that, but it's mostly their own work. But it does feel good to have all the lads around me that are around me. And it's the same in any promotion, really. I've been guilty of slagging other promoters off and just calling them what for and stuff. And I'm no different. I take a lot of stick, but as long as my lads are happy behind that front door, and as long as we're progressing, and as long as people are sitting down and coming to the shows, and them lads are making a few quid, and they're enjoying themselves above all and not going to jail, not going back to drugs and everything else. Yeah, man, it's a good feeling, man. I just hope it continues.
Yeah, I see the new hair bill company sort of started up a day. Did you see it?
I did say,
What did you think of that?
again, you've got to respect anybody who gets in the arena. It's daunting, man. But yeah, it's you look at what they're fighting on, and it was a concrete floor. I mean, I'd just like to see a little bit more provisions there, like get himself some medics. And I'm not going to give him airtime. Don't really like the kid, but what he's doing, if it's helping people settle beef and stopping one parent burying the child, then that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And in the future, obviously in the summer, are you going to start doing some events outside again?
Yeah, we're in negotiations with the police at the minute because he didn't really want us to have any more outside. But Fight Fest is a real thing now. We've had 3 of them, so
That's what I mean. It's supposed to be all legal and that, like with you having it inside all these venues and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're legal, fully legal, licensed and above board. But when you have them outside, they rightly pointed out that if an ambulance gets stuck on a field with someone in it with brain trauma, that's a difference in life and death. So, we're trying to get around that. We're trying to look for a way we can still accommodate the outdoor events. Because for me, that's where we started. So that I really enjoy the outdoor events. It's like a violent version of Woodstock.
Yeah, like that's how I started watching it. Like obviously your man Tony Meehan and that just jumping over the air bales into the ring and that outside quality, mate.
I mean, it was a bit of a proud moment last week for us carrying the pay-per-view up, and and the job that Robbie Adamson and Scott Misley did on commentary was absolutely second to none. It was brilliant. Like, just told them to be themselves, and they were, and they both fought in the pit, so they knew what they were talking about. It seemed everyone enjoyed the event. It set us up nicely now to push on for Spartan Wars 14 on June the 24th, and that'll be pay-per-view again, but the fights will be off the hook.
Yeah, so you're going to start doing this all the time now, pay-per-view for the fans?
Yeah, we've got plenty of fans around the world, and they're realistically not going to be able to come to Bradford. Or, so the pay-per-view thing, I mean, just for instance, we got a phone call from a friend the other day who lives in Bali, and they'd ordered the fight, and they were all watching it in the pub, all of them. Like, so, yeah, they really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good to see that it's getting around the world and that. Like, do you ever get nervous, Christian? Like at the shows and that. Like, do you ever get nervous and that when the fight's on? I think, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? Because it's the fucking rough, aren't they?
I think the worst one I've ever been nervous of. I remember looking at Jason Marsh and going, "I'm going to fucking jail, man." Would have probably been Robbie Adamson and the other kid's name. It escaped me. He was a coloured fella from London. He come down and Robbie Adamson in for. He come in after round 1 and both of them had broken jaws. I thought, fuck me. And then both got off the stools to come out for round 2. I thought, this is how it all ends. This is me going to jail for 10. But no, man, it ended okay in the end. And yeah, it was pretty hair-raising, man. The injuries sometimes can be bad. But as we've touched on before, the damage is clear to see really quick. So fights are stopped quicker so you don't get the prolonged damage,
Yeah, it seems to be a bit safer as well. Obviously, with you having a small, like, confined space, when they are getting dropped or they're falling, they're landing on the hay bales, like backwards, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's that. And we have like a 2-inch thick cushion floor on the floor now, like the gym tiles. So, that helps because, there has been 1 or 2 really unsavory knockouts in it. Like, I look at them sometimes and I think, fuck, that looks heavy, but these are tough lads, man. Really tough. And this medical team we've got with Michelle Pleven and that, they're really good, man. They know the stuff. I mean, we've invented the thing now as well where the medics can throw a red towel in and stop the action so they can assess cuts. And if everything's all right, they can go back on. If not, then it gets stopped,
Yeah, that's good, that, mate. And where, obviously, the people who are watching now or watch after we've finished the live, where can everybody find you and get the pay-per-view for this Spartan Wars 14 that's coming up on June the 24th?
Yeah, man. The pay-per-view link will be out this week coming. It'll always be pinned to the top of my profile on public, so you can always get it there. All the fighters will be sharing it. You can find us on the official Spartan Fight Club group on Facebook. official Spartan 17 on TikTok, official Spartan on Instagram, Christian Roberts 29 on Instagram. You can find us anywhere, mate. We're not hard to find them.
Yeah, sweet, mate. Is there anything else you want to share with us, Christian, before we wrap it up, mate?
Yeah, I'd like to kind of shout my sponsors out.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
I hope you don't mind about to write them down. I just fucking don't know who they are.
Mate, as long as you want, mate.
Bloodshot Sports, Scott West Shellfish, used windows, PVC and doors, A2 Clean Services. Yeah, man. Big respect to all those guys who support us all the way, and massive respect to all my staff and backroom staff. You know, Crystal Adamson, Robbie Adamson, Ash Spartan. You know, like I say, we're towards summer, we'll be the only company then with 3 active arenas running, which will be the ring, the pit, and the cage. Nice. I'm just in negotiations about getting someone really famous to help with the cage, who's been a cage fighter. So there'll be something to look out there, and hopefully I'll be dropping that we're going to be in a big documentary soon. So, you know, all that to look for the future. But most of all, thanks for the lads who fight for me, for making this fight club what it is, because without them and without the fans, we're nothing.
Top man, and hopefully, mate, we can do some work in the future, and I'll come down to the shows and get some filming and interviews with the lads.
Definitely got to come to the one in June, man. I'm telling you.
Definitely, mate. I will. 100%. I will, mate.
That's brilliant, and I'll get you at our table, and we can see who catches the most gold teeth.
Yeah, class, mate. Really appreciate you coming on, Christian, mate.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Keep up the good work, yeah.
Thank you, mate. I'll speak to you very soon, pal. Yeah.
Speak soon, pal. Take it easy. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yes, people. I'm going to put all the links for Christian's stuff, Spartan Wars, in the description. These guys been keeping all the fans entertained for years, so make sure you go over there, support the brand, support all the fighters, keep them pushing, getting all these fights going. Yeah, sorry about that, I was a bit lost in the comments there, but yes, people, really appreciate everyone tuning in. Big up Spartan, and hope everybody enjoys the rest of the evening. Good night, God bless from the Fuse UK. Pop. It's not the fuss, Tony. It's not the fuss. It's the fuse, mate. The fucking fuse, mate. Alright, mate. It's the fucking fuse, lad. Big up Tony Megan as well, having his BKB debut. Cannot wait, my sunshine. Love, 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 love.